back. We got full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees out of any league are the best to handle a bullet.
I think there's a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the old scrub. Trash. Every person you have is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Report here on a Football Friday. It's Barnes, it's Michael, it's Matthew. How you gentlemen doing today?
Very good, dude. Very good. Nice cold day out for Tony.
Yeah, Tony wearing his
He's riled.
shorts. Probably going
he probably
for it.
does have shorts on.
Going for a run. That's for sure. Dude, how was the Christmas, the dinner? Like, give us some type of cap here, Matthew.
Synopsis?
Yes.
Dude, real good. I mean, Christmas Eve, we were at our house, my parents' house. Laura was over, the kids, and my dad's side came over, my aunt and my cousin, her family as well. So, a lot of little kids, and that was a good time. Obviously, the food, the linguine with all the fish. Can't beat that. And then Christmas Day was a dope time, too. Went to Frankie's house. So my mom's side was there. That was a good time, too. The kids over there and who's got running around and playing Madden. My Frankie's kid and my cousin Danielle's kid, they're like 13 and 11 now. So, like, they were playing Madden and everything. And, like, they're just so
Did you get to play?
No, dude, because
you didn't get in there?
I was thinking about it, but I kind of was, out and about and just catching up with, like,
Plus, you didn't want to, like, ruin their spirits.
Yeah, well, they probably would have whipped my ass, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah. No, they're like legit into that.
I don't want to deal with that shit.
Nah, and dude, Madden 25 looks. I don't know if they were online or what, but it looked just like way too complicated.
Do they have PS5?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Tony
okay.
just got PS5 from Santa.
Wow. That's sick. That thing is really insane.
Wow, I didn't know Santa could make it out to Staten Island.
I know, the island. He doesn't usually go there, but for Tony, I guess he did.
Yeah, that's nice of him.
Wait, I'm trying to think. Oh, but we when we played last. I guess it's just different for PS4, but we played Madden 25.
Yeah, I know,
here.
but it looks way different.
Yeah, no, it's it's
it's
definitely
insane.
they make it
The
different.
graphics are dope.
Yeah.
And but yeah, no, I mean it was fun times, dude. But yeah, they're really into the gaming.
Now what was, I know it's so hard to pin it down, but best like dinner thing and dessert.
I mean, dude, I would say my grandma used to make mani guts for Christmas. Now, obviously, the last few years, like, she wasn't able to do that. But my sister Laura made them with her recipe, and dude, I mean, we haven't had them in so long, and everybody loved them. They were really, really good, and they were really, I mean, like, really hit the spot. And so that that was on Christmas Day. Obviously, Christmas Eve, like all the fish and everything, like, and the pasta, like, you love that.
Yes.
And then
Tony,
dessert.
Yes.
My mom makes like those kefli cookies. I always love those.
Were those the ones that I had, or those are different cookies?
You probably had a few of those. And oatmeal cookies, obviously, too. And then my aunt brought up this cranberry bread from some bakery. That was good. So
nice.
Yeah. I mean,
very good there.
had a nice spread.
Yeah.
All good. Yeah.
Happy holidays.
Yeah, happy holiday. What about you for dessert?
For dessert, honestly, really just Sam made this like double layer chocolate cake, which was good, frosting in the middle, and then these sugar cookies. I just sugar cookies.
Sugar cookies are good.
Yeah, I could just eat those forever. So those were kind of the main dessert things. But then also on Christmas Eve with the fish stuff, we just had like with snowflake rolls and like warm lobster with butter, like that. Yeah, I could just eat that like just for the whole meal. Like that was so good. And then like the full Zuba de Pesh thing as well.
Nice, dude. Nice.
But yeah, there's nothing like the Demar.
I could take it.
Yeah.
Mike, how was yours?
Dude, it was good.
79-cent filet.
Dude, yeah. Filet mignon, my mom got. I'll show you a photo after. It was like this big, bro. From Stu Leonard's, grass-fed. $150. She got it for 37 cents because they put the wrong price tag on it. Like, it was just a mess up. And my mom obviously this price says 37 cents. And they're like, oh, sorry, I was a mistake. She's like, I'm paying 37 cents. So she was riled, dude. Like 30, like think about that, bro.
That's the ultimate heist of all time.
Yeah.
Bar's just like, did the manager have to get it? I was like, it's my mom. She owns Stu Leonard's. Like, it's
Imagine if Stu was in the store, though. What would he have done?
he would have been like, oh, Theodora, go ahead.
Yeah.
Those.
He doesn't want any problems.
No,
He's
no,
had
no.
enough problems.
They make enough money, dude. Oh yeah, well, especially with the kid or grandson.
I was not really talking about that. But he had something with taxes.
Oh yeah, isn't he dead though?
No, but I think that was
Maybe
his father.
That was his fault.
Yeah,
His fault.
He's dead. Yeah, died in jail. No.
No, I feel like you think he's definitely gone?
I think so, dude.
I mean,
Look it up, Michael.
I don't
looking
know.
it up.
I don't know.
Yeah, I never
Well,
go
that's nice,
there,
Mike.
But
Yeah, my mom
Stu's is
wanted
fire.
my uncle to come,
nice.
and he came.
good.
So she, whatever makes her happy.
Stu
it was a good time.
Senior.
Did you get your wallet?
Stu Leonard's death. Did I get my wallet?
Yeah, the one you wanted for Christmas.
Oh yeah. I got
Nice,
that, but I didn't get it in yet. It's
Yeah, it's
in the
coming,
mail.
it's
When it
coming.
comes, I'll show you it.
Nice.
We'll 2023.
We'll
Stu
debrief.
Leonard Senior.
Well, what age? 80 something?
Gosh, I'm so bad at math.
What year did you born?
1929.
29. So that's 71 years, and then plus that. Wow, 95.
Wow.
That's good.
Yeah,
I mean,
or
when you own-
94, because
Yeah.
When you're
really
rich like
just-
that, I think you enjoy life a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know?
Just chilling.
Yeah. Even from the pinna, you still was able to. I mean, that is the long run, definitely.
That's maybe the best soundbite.
Or Michael Viaville.
No, that is a great one too. Michael Theophil?
Some fire. Yeah, that's a classic too. I do see though we have a bunch of comments, Michael. If we want to get,
I guess
to
we could do this though.
Breaking news, per John Heyman, but per
Josh B.
Gleyber Torres Tigers, 1 year, $15 million. So that just came out this morning. Obviously the hot stuff has been dead, and it had been a mere formality that the former All-Star second baseman was not going to return to New York. So he heads to Detroit, a team that's in need of some offense. So we'll have to see, how that works out. What else we got here?
It's honestly interesting because the Tigers had a good year last year. So
Yeah, I kind of actually forgot about that they actually were
Decent,
in the
yeah.
playoffs. But I know, like, for
they
him,
almost beat Cleveland.
yeah, for him though, it's like with that ballpark, like we thought, like he didn't hit that many home runs last year. Like this year, he might hit like 10. But I guess if he like hits for average, maybe it'll work out.
Yeah.
It just hits a bunch of doubles. So, we'll have to
All
see.
right, so yo fam, happy Friday. Hashtag TCA, hashtag Sportsport, hashtag DTV from Josh B. Michael Buckta saying, hey Barnes, imagine Hurley and
Michael.
I sipping on a IPA at his house in his backyard right by his pool. Does he have a pool? Do we know that?
What if it was on the 18th green at Augusta National?
I think that would be better. Shout out to Josh B and Kev Do. Michael says. Michael also adds, then imagine going to the casino with Hurley. And then he says, I can say without a doubt that Hurley and I are best buds. Does he feel the same way? Matthew Gabriel says, okay, come on. And then Josh B saying, Matty G. And then Matthew saying to Josh B, Josh boy. And then Marco saying, hey. And then Josh B saying, Marco. And then Josh B, the Glaber, Per Heyman, Josh, who do you want at second base? We were saying to go internally, Peraza, Oswaldo, etc. And then Josh B saying, Buckta.
And you know what I said? Let's go to the world of Major League Baseball.
It's deep to left. It's 700. Albert Pujols.
Yeah, what a play! Stop it! Yep. And Alonso cracks one of the Mets win the ball game. Out of sight.
And it works at 100 miles an hour. 14 strikeout.
Drill deep to left field. There it goes. See ya.
All right. So, as we mentioned, and Michael spot on there with the Baseball Tonight music.
I need like that.
We love that. But obviously Glaber, was the starting second baseman last year for the Yankees, and they'll be looking to fill that hole. And they had mentioned Kim, the second base shortstop from the Padres, is someone that gets signed. But I think we were both kind of just saying that we think they'd be better off just going internally. And I think just make it a competition in spring training, between Peraza and Cabrera. And really, I would love to see Peraza just kind of seize the role, have a good spring, and then you could have Oswaldo as a utility. I think is so valuable because, you know what I mean? I know the only thing that I do think, though, maybe if he got more regular at bats, that he would produce better. You know what I mean? But he's so valuable as a backup. I feel like you need those guys on your bench that could play almost every position.
Josh says, get Bregman. Move Jazz to second. No thanks, Josh.
Yeah. It's just the tough part about it is, I guess, I wouldn't be that type of one-year deal, but it just seems like he's just heading in the wrong direction. So, I was okay with Goldschmidt. That's somewhat of a risk, but then it's other than that, let's give the guys in the system a chance. It seems like it's going to work out with Volpe that we've given him these last 2 years. This is a big year for him, and I'm excited to see what Dominguez does. So to get somebody on the other side of 30 for $150 million over 5 years, it's just and not to mention that he's just part of that whole thing with the Astros. It just seems like a double, triple, quadruple negative,
Yeah, so I'll sit there. They were saying too, his bat wouldn't play well.
Yeah, because he's a pull hitter or left center, and obviously that's the deepest part of the park.
And we don't have trash cans.
Exactly. So how's he gonna hit?
Exactly. I think that the fielding, but the fielding's not worth $150 million.
No.
And then it's so annoying. I didn't really see this from a credible source, but somebody was suggesting oh, they're hoping maybe LeMahieu could rebound, but there's no
dude.
I've just assumed in my head that he's
not even in the plans,
but that he's just gonna get released before spring training. But if you had to guess though, listen, obviously we know we would just release him right now, but don't you think they're probably gonna at least bring him to spring training?
Yeah,
just
definitely.
knowing the way that they operate. But
yeah.
The only good part about that is maybe he could just somehow have a ridiculous spring training, and then we could just trade him and just eat everything except $5 million or something, and just to get him off the team.
That would be ideal. I definitely don't want. I'm not even thinking of LeMahieu anymore.
No, I know.
It's just irrelevant.
Yeah, that will be annoying. But I think too,
can't play.
This is one of those things that'll take care of himself. If Cabrera or Peraza lights it on fire in the spring, then they're gonna give him the job. It's not
I honestly feel like that with Peraza, they're doing it Andujar, dude.
A little bit.
Jerking him around.
Well, this is a big year though. If he could kill it in the spring and get the job, then you know what I mean. We're in the clear. And years ago, Kashmir did say that was the future middle infield, Volpe and Peraza.
Yeah. So I'm really pumped about Dominguez.
Yeah. No, I think that is the key. Sure, other guys are important, but just his development and ascension, and we don't need him to hit 35 home runs next year, but just going 2020, hitting 275, and being more comfortable in the field and scoring a bunch of runs. That's all we need.
Yeah, and dude, I really do think he he could be like a Soto. I really think he could shape up like that.
Well, and it's nice
just
too.
better in the field.
He's 21 years old, so it's like I said, we don't need the 40 home runs next season. Just signs of development.
Capable though.
Yeah. But I'm just trying to
It's not a big deal if he doesn't do that.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be an ascension though. If I had to guess, I'm just kind of guessing 20 to 25 home runs, around 265, 270, 20 steals. I think that would be solid.
Is he fast?
Yeah. No, I could pull up the minor league numbers, but I believe he's stolen 20 bases in the minors every year. I think he's a good base runner. Not lightning speed, but he's able to steal some bases. So let's see here. So stolen base wise, if you look at it, so yeah, last year in 58 games he stole 16 bases, and then the year before he stole 40 bases in 118 games. So he's gonna steal, I would think, like I said, 20 to 30 bases, which is nice because you have him stealing, you have Volpe stealing, and Jazz. when was the last time we had that many guys running on the base paths?
No, it's been a minute. And obviously too, the pitching like from top down, starters into the bullpen is. I don't think I've ever been as like thrilled about it.
Yeah,
it just seems like it's an untouchable kind of situation. So
yeah,
the only like hesitation I have is Rodon.
Yeah,
well, I know he's capable, but it's just sometimes obviously he just doesn't.
Yeah,
deliver.
but I think he's gonna have his best season with the Yankees just because he could really be the 4 starter really if he was lighting up. So I just feel like the pressure isn't there after signing Max Fried to that contract.
Yeah, that could be too. And then no, and obviously I heard what we said about the starting rotation. So that seems pretty solid. But Rodon could be like 4 potentially.
Yeah,
or even 5.
Yeah. But I think just like I personally I think just they'll try. Maybe it's contract related. Also, it'd be interesting though, back-to-back lefties in the rotation, but. I think they're gonna probably start him at 3. But 4 would make sense though to split it up though.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, have a kind of a sandwich situation with the lefties, and don't maybe not have them go back to back. So it's gonna be Cole, Fried,
Rodon, Heel, and Schmidt, and then obviously Stroman just trade him with LeMayo.
Yeah, please.
No, but there's no way because he was almost like. It almost felt like taking a shot at the team, like congratulating Soto on his contract or something.
Stroman did that?
Yeah, on like Twitter or something.
Dude,
but it's like we know. We didn't want him before. We don't want him now. Like we know what the deal is. You know? So what do you think about the lineup now? Because, last year, if you think about it, early in the year, we tried Volpe at leadoff, and then he wasn't hitting. We moved him down, and Glaber was doing well, but now he's gone. Do you think that they should just try that out again with Volpe, or what are your thoughts on lead off and just kind of trickling the way down?
I really don't know with the lead off. I guess you could try Volpe again
because I feel like Jazz. I don't want his lead off just because he's just swing and miss sometimes, and I want the
I'm
lead
all
off
set
guy.
with Jazz at the lead off spot unless he is going to be a little bit more tamed up there, dude.
Yeah, but I mean it's I don't.
Obviously he's playing golf, dude.
But the thing is, if he was just a little more tamed, it would be like Soriano back in the day. When it seemed like he always hit a leadoff home run. But I'm thinking Volpe 1, and then you think Jazz 2, to have those 2 speed guys at the top, and then Judge 3, and then do you think Bellinger 4 and Stanton 5, or what do you think?
Yeah, I like that. Right, either way. If that was flipped, that would be fine too. I'd be all right with that.
And it's just funny too though. But the way that they are with the lefty, righty, I think they're definitely gonna do it that way because Volpe the righty, Jazz the lefty, Judge the righty, Bellinger the lefty, Stanton the righty. And then
that's actually really sick.
Yeah, Wells after that.
Yeah.
And then probably Goldschmidt, and then Dominguez, and then that would be 8th, and then you just have Peraza
or Oswaldo.
Bet, yeah.
That's pretty dope.
And and what do you think too? It just you think just make it the spring competition for that, or do you like the idea of a platoon?
I kind of do like the platoon idea. You might as well. There's no reason to just pigeonhole yourself.
Yeah, and then obviously if somebody separates themselves,
then you can take care of it from there.
And then it's interesting too to just think about, hopefully, just thinking about who's gonna be on the bench. You know what I mean? Because I think now with the expanded rosters, there's usually 4 guys on the bench. So I know they got that guy. I think his name is Jackson. As a catching option, but I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
He hit 1 something last year. I don't know if he'll get the job. But then who else is going to be on the bench? Hopefully it's not LeMahieu. But then Vivas, I guess, is an option. Remember him in spring training last year? We got him from the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Trying to think who else would come off the bench.
The bench is interesting. I really don't know.
Maybe Pereira could make the team, I guess.
Oh yeah. Everson.
But we have Grisham too. Yeah, Grisham will be on the roster, which I guess isn't too bad. Oh, and then as well. Oh, because if you think about it, it's the backup catcher, Grisham and then Oswaldo or Peraza. So just one other guy. And I know Vivas can play second or third.
and
So
they'll
maybe
probably have Ben Rice.
Oh yeah, they might have Ben Rice, and also they're saying because he's came up as a catcher that maybe he
Rice?
could be the backup catcher, which I would like because then you can play him at first as well.
Yeah.
And hopefully too with him, some tinkering. I mean, obviously there's just random stuff happens all the time, but you would think somebody who
I like
hits,
Rice.
who hits 3 home runs in a game, has some type of
I think
ability,
it's there. I think it's there. You know what I mean? I like him on the bench, dude.
Yeah.
And if he could do what you just said too, if we need him as a backup catcher, like it's pretty legit.
And then also one thing I'm excited about, we know the bullpen, obviously the big guys, with Williams and Loizaga and Weaver, but they're saying that there's some high expectations, and I guess he's been working with them already all offseason, is a beater. As like a 1-inning guy, like he throws hard. You're just getting the command down that he could be real valuable, which is exciting, and obviously a guy coming through the system too.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be a nice addition right there for sure.
So yeah, I mean, I think really, I don't think there's nothing else that they need to do, and I guess maybe just Tim Hill because I don't think there isn't another lefty in the bullpen. Because Miaz was non-tendered.
Yeah. I'd like to have Hill back.
Yeah. And you would think that's not going to take much to get done. They're saying or Andrew Chafin, but yeah, definitely just bring back Hill. Like it worked.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel really okay. No, I thought they were saying that he signed with somebody, but he didn't. But yeah, I feel really good, where they are. And then one thing that's gonna, obviously we're all gonna be watching this year is the, how Spencer Jones does in AAA, and maybe he ends up getting a call. It would be nice if he just like tore the ball, the cover off the ball early, and then they could like trade Grisham or something to get him up on the roster. But that would be awesome to have him and Dominguez up at the same time.
Yeah, it would. That'd be great.
So yeah, definitely excited, for next season for sure. Have you been playing the show with Schmitty?
A little bit.
Is he having a tough time?
No, he's having a good time. It really is. It takes a long time for those games to download. Yeah.
So. You know what I always do is just before I go to bed, I just put it on rest mode, and then it just downloads overnight. But yeah, if you're just waiting for it, it definitely is annoying. I actually just got because it was like only like $30 or less than that. 2K25 played last night. 3-0. First 2 people quit.
Oh wow.
But it's I was telling Mike before, it's like people are so dumb sometimes because it's like they just have to shoot 3-pointers, and it's like, dude, if someone's open on the basket, like why are you not going to take the points? But see that LA Fitness, the NBA, it's all the same. But yeah, so no, it's nice to get that. It was a good deal to get that. But yeah, that's really where we are with baseball. There are still some good free agents out there, but it's just kind of one of those things. We've seen it the last couple of years where
Peta.
Well, you got Peta, but then you got Corbin Burns, Santander, and then who else is out there? I feel like there's somebody else. I mean, I guess you have Bregman, but obviously we don't consider him. Teoscar as well.
Yeah.
Is another guy. But there isn't really, anybody that, would be really in play for us. So it's just like
not at this point.
Yeah. So we'll have to see where those guys go. And I think I would imagine anyway, they go somewhere, to a team like the Blue Jays or the Giants who are looking to spend money, but haven't been able to get anybody to come. So we'll have to see. And spring training. I mean, you think about like first spring training games probably 2 months from now. I'm sure that time will go quick. Before we know it, we'll be back at Yankee Stadium. So can't wait for that.
And there it was.
And there we are. But let's go, Michael, to the world of the National Football League.
He wants Jefferson. Climbs climbs the ladder. Oh my goodness! Justin Jefferson, the catch of his life.
Burrow fires, intercepted, picked off at a pick six. Minka Fitzpatrick, an absolute ball hawk.
Niners twist up front and get to Tagovailoa. Bosa again. Mahomes escaping on the move, stops, spins, flips it forward for the touchdown.
Stop it.
Aaron Jones. Oh, what a tackle! Quincy Williams with a pile driver.
All right. So a little bit of a snooze fest last night, and it just seems like Al Michaels always gets stuck with these games. But the Seahawks defeat the Bears 6-3. Another debacle at the end of the game, and the Bears have still not won since Jaden Daniels threw that Hail Mary. 10 straight losses, and watching the end of this game, I caught the second half after I got back from Sakura, and it was like they were actually trying to lose the game. That's what it really felt like. And late in the game, they let with 3 timeouts. They let like 40 seconds come off the play clock, and then they were left with a decision to either attempt a 57-yarder or go for it on 4th and 10. And Caleb Williams, under pressure all night, only threw for 122 yards. They decide to go for it. Of course, he throws an interception. And that was the end of the game. But like I said, it felt like they were like purposely trying to do it. And it's like, just seems like, everybody is just completely checked out on that team. Obviously Seattle really needed this game, and it's just weird because we know the talent that they have, especially at receiver and, running back. Charbonnet is pretty good. Walker's injured, but Charbonnet's been feeling well. Defense is pretty good. But recently they have just not been able to score. But I guess, it really comes down to Geno. And I think a couple years ago, that was kind of lightning in a bottle. And it just seems like he's kind of, reverted back. Maybe a better version, but kind of the guy, that we got to know, with the Jets. Because it seems like Seattle's wasting this team. You think about Metcalf, Smith, and Jigba. Even Noah Fant is a really good tight end, and they still have Tyler Lockett. Like, if they were to get a better quarterback, I think they would be really good. And basically what it will be is, this week, if tomorrow, actually, because we got 3 Saturday games, if the Rams beat the Cardinals, that'll clinch the division. If the Cardinals beat the Rams, then it will be a game on Sunday night next week for the division. But obviously, I mean, I just know I would love to see the Rams in the playoffs rather than the Seahawks, because with Geno, it just seems like there's only so much they could really do. It seems like, like I said, they're wasting talent over there.
Yeah, they do have a good team. They do have a lot of talent, especially on the offensive side. And, to not score any touchdowns is kind of just insane. Not surprising from the Bears, because they're just terrible. But yeah, I mean, it's a good way to say it, Barnes. I mean, they really are just wasting talent, wasting these years for these guys, Metcalf and Fant's young, and Jigba obviously is really young. Yeah, man. I mean, if they had a better quarterback, dude, they'd probably be a lot better off, and they'd probably have more wins, and they'd probably, be able to just have more just of a high scoring offense, dude.
Yeah.
Like 6 points, 6-3, dude. What the fuck?
It'll be interesting to see what, they decide to do. Me and Mike were talking about it yesterday. Like, I mean, you just think about like veteran free agent quarterbacks, because it's like where they sit, where will they be picking, be in the middle of the first round. So unless they're going to like trade their whole draft to move up, they're probably going to have to go with one of those guys. So it's like Cousins is an option. And I was saying like he's an option, but I just can't see like Mike McDonald will be a second-year head coach having Rodgers as a quarterback. Like, talk about like just ruining your career.
For Seattle?
Yeah. But I would be, I don't know, even though obviously it really didn't end well and now he's benched, but like Cousins, I don't know, it would be interesting. But like I wouldn't feel like great about it, but I would have to think he would do a better job than Geno. I think it was just tough coming off the Achilles this year, just like we've seen from Rodgers.
Yeah. I mean, Rodgers should go to Seattle. Imagine.
Yeah,
No,
I just.
But I mean, no, because that was the same thought process with the Jets, though. It's like,
Yeah.
they just need a quarterback. They just need a quarterback. And like, obviously, that hasn't really worked
Well,
out.
I
so.
guess the difference is Seattle is like a well-run organization.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they just are like, we don't even want to have to deal with this stuff.
I mean, I'm on the Bears side of things, though. They're a total mess, dude. I mean, they had a lot of like high expectations. They're kind of like the Jets, I guess, in a way, with just a lot of expectations going into the year. And then, they have a lot of talent too, especially on the offensive side. And wasted year for these guys too. And Caleb Williams, obviously, like, he's got to figure it out. I mean, I guess that comes down to a little bit of coaching too. I mean, he kind of looks like he's not going to be anything crazy. But I mean, it's just really way too early to say that.
Yeah,
it's not really fair.
he just needs a coach. I'm telling
he
you,
definitely needs to coach. That Eberflus guy, like,
was a joke.
yeah, a total joke.
And then the interim is just as bad.
Yeah,
Thomas Brown.
so DJ Moore's probably tight.
Adunze.
Keenan Allen, Odunze. So yeah, I mean that, and this is kind of interesting that Seattle played them last night because Pete Carroll,
right.
Former Seahawks coach, interested in the Bears job apparently.
I mean, I think
that'd be
that's the perfect for both sides, really, because I think there's stuff to work with there, and I just feel like he could, like, lift the whole spirits of the organization, honestly, because I think everybody's really down right now.
And why not? The Jets should just try and get him then.
The Jets should try to get him, but I bet he doesn't want to go there.
Yeah,
it would be great to get him. Of course it would, but I would think, especially because they fired him way back. I know it was a long time ago.
Yeah, but it's
no. Like I said, it would be great. But the problem is too, especially Rodgers is going to come back. It's like, well, so you'd have to have a rookie quarterback. At least Williams has been in the league for a year, and then he would look at the offense and say, they have some talented wide receivers, talented running back. The defense actually looks pretty good, so I'm sure for him, it'd be more attractive. But maybe for whatever reason they're not interested, and like he doesn't have another option, then maybe he'd go with the Jets. But I think just the biggest thing he would want to know, like, what the plan is at quarterback.
Yeah, that would be the biggest thing. And he's obviously not going to want to work with Rodgers. I can't see that.
No.
Nobody wants to work with Rodgers. So
if you had to guess, though, you think just no one's going to pick him up, and that's just going to be it?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Would he go to like? Jacksonville has Trevor Lawrence. So
I would say New Orleans, maybe, but it's like I don't know who's going to coach there. Right, I mean, it just depends who the coach will be. Yeah, but I just think everyone's gonna be like, all right, we don't want to deal with this. We want to build something, not have this 1 year drama show. Enigma.
Dude, I told Tony this, Mike. I don't know. I think I told you this too, dude. Watch the first episode. Me and my dad.
What was he saying?
He's just like, dude, this guy's out of his fucking mind.
If he watched episode 3, he'd really think so. Or 2, I should say. 2 is when he's tripping.
Did you see the whole thing?
Yeah, there's only 3 episodes.
Yeah.
2 is when he goes tripping.
I might as well finish it.
You should. You'll laugh.
I think I would throw up, actually.
What's wrong with Bonds? Just throwing up now.
I see we have a couple more comments trickling in. An Anthony Materiello.
Anthony.
I don't know that guy, but he says Matty G, and then he says Snooze Fest. He's talking about the football game.
Is he talking about himself?
Definitely on a Saturday night.
Coma.
Tommy Donovan. Good morning, fam. Team USA put up a 10 spot in the World Juniors against Germany.
Yes, and I actually saw top Ranger prospect Gabe Peralt, and I didn't realize he's a lefty, had this pretty dope goal. They're talking about a quick release. It's like,
well
get out of Boston College. Just come to the league right now. Come on.
Yeah, like they need anything. Matthew Ryan, Caleb Williams sucks. He reminds him of his boyfriend, Zach Wilson. And then he also adds Rodgers needs to go.
Yeah. I think it would be hard to disagree with those statements. And then also we do have the picks with the TCA, and we've really clinched for the season, but obviously playing out the string here. So they're 24-23-1. We're 29-18-1. And they had first pick this week.
Who makes the picks for them mostly?
So Josh and Kev, it's a combo. I think the last couple of weeks
They need to go, talk to some other TCA members. Then.
Kev had done it, but Josh sent them in. So they're going Rams over the Cards -6.5. Colts -7.5 against the Giants. Richardson, not a sure thing to go, but that actually might be better because he's looked like complete shit. And then the Commanders over the Falcons 4.5. So I think those are pretty good picks, and we have to make ours, so we can kind of do a collaborative effort here. And I was kind of looking at these before. One thing that stood out to me would be the, especially coming off a loss as well, to Washington, would be the Eagles -7 at Dallas. What do you think about that one? Eliminated from the playoffs, Eagles, coming off that loss. But the only thing is Hurts, I guess, is actually maybe might miss that game with a concussion. So maybe we settle there for a second. And then it's like, Lions 3.5 at San Francisco is kind of tempting. Or the Bucks coming off the loss. 7.5 is a big number, but against Carolina, that's an intriguing one. Or the Bills -9.5 against the Jets.
That seems like an obvious.
In Orchard Park, I think we have to do that. So I'm gonna write that one out. Is there anything that stands out to you though, that like in terms of a spread that you like here?
Let's see. What about Broncos Bengals?
Yeah, I was thinking about that, but what side are you?
The run.
You're thinking of the Burrow run?
Yeah.
This is a game.
3.5.
Yeah. So it's not really too high.
No, it's
and I
not.
think the Bengals are a better team than the Broncos, even though the Broncos have had a good year. I'm down with that.
An injured Cub.
I actually don't remember that one. Anthony. So yeah, okay. So we'll go Bills 9.5, Bengals -3.5, and then the final pick here.
You can.
So what do you got? Jets, Bills, Bengals, Broncos.
No, well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then no, because I thought you were saying the other sides of those, but you're just saying both teams are.
No, I'm
playing.
saying the games.
Yeah. So we have those two, and then really I would say what's on the table would be Bucks -7.5, or I'm kind of thinking Lions -7.5.
What about Colts, Giants?
They have the Colts already.
Throw a couple shekels up there.
Right,
Could be a nice
I just
payday.
feel like the
Where's Kev?
Lions, and the Lions need this game too to get the #1 seed.
Yeah.
So I think
Good.
let's go with that. Monday
Yeah.
night, finish it out.
Monday.
So yeah, let's do that. So Bills -9.5, Bengals -3.5, Lions -3.5. Just sent it in the group chat.
Very good there.
So we're all set there, and then what we're gonna do is I will introduce the game, say my pick, and then if you wouldn't mind bouncing your prediction off of mine.
Off yours.
Yeah, we're gonna do the frenzy. Just want to make sure you're
Sure,
ready to
sure,
go.
sure.
ESPN up, the scores locked in, and let's do, Michael, a NFL Week 17 frenzy. All right, can't believe Week 17 starting out on a Saturday in New England. The Patriots hosting the Chargers here. Right now, Chargers -4.5 point road favorites. Total set at 42.5. I believe they clinch a playoff spot with a win. Going up against a Patriots team that's reeling. Obviously, Drake May looks okay, but everything else doesn't. And there's questions about if Mayo will continue. But I think the Chargers defense bottles up May and the Patriots here. I think a lower scoring game. I'm going to go with the under. But I think the Chargers are going to win this game. Let's say 24-10. So the Chargers on the -4.5, under the 42.5 total. What do you think here, Matthew?
I like that, Brian. The Patriots, obviously, not a good team. Chargers looking at lack of a playoff spot, like you said. So, I'm definitely going to go. I'm going to take the under as well, dude. Let's go Chargers 30, Patriots 7, dude.
There we go.
A
There we go.
blowout.
Decisive, Kraft, miserable in his box with Jonathan.
He needs a massage.
Next game up, part of this NFL Network triple header on Saturday. Our game, the Broncos at the Bengals. Like we said, Bengals -3.5, total at 49.5. And you know, I look at this game. I don't think it's a blowout because this Bengals defense spotty at times, but maybe a Bo Nix interception at the end of the game does them in. Joe Burrow, unbelievable, 39 passing touchdowns this year, over 4,200 yards. And Jamar Chase, 1510 receiving yards, 16 touchdowns. So I'm going to say the Bengals will take this one. I'm going to go 31 to 24. So let's go Bengals on the 3.5 and over the 49.5. What do you think, Matthew?
Sounds pretty solid, dude. I mean, I think Bengals will probably pull this one out too. This would be a good matchup, dude, because obviously the Bengals just have had a tough time this year. They've lost a lot of close games, so I don't think their record is necessarily indicative of like what kind of team they are. So, you know, I like the spread there, dude. Let's go with Cincinnati 27, Broncos 20. So they're gonna hit the under.
There we go. There we go. So the Bengals, the run, Tony, is still alive. 8 o'clock, last game of this Saturday triple header. The Cards in Inglewood. Josh being Tony favorite there. The Rams looking to, close up the NFC West, clinch the division here. They're 6.5-point favorites. Total set at 47.5. And I think they exactly do that. The Cards, the second half fade. We see it every single year. And Sean McVay, what a coach he is, rallying this team. I believe they're 8-2 in their last 10 after a poor start. So really rallying. Matthew Stafford, a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Kyron Williams, 1243 and 13 touchdowns this year. He's been unbelievable. I think the Rams end up blowing them out. I think this Cardinal team, I think there's a lack of direction, a lack of future for this team. Do they stick with Kyler Murray, or is he a guy they look to trade maybe to Seattle? But I think the Rams ultimately win this game. I'm going to say 28-10. So we're going to go Rams covering the 6.5 and under the 47.5. What do you got, Matt?
Dude, I'm liking it, Barnes. This could be. I think the Rams obviously are trying to, clinch the division here, so I don't think they're gonna let that slip past them, dude. Cardinals obviously not, mediocre, middle of the road kind of team. Had some good wins this year, nothing too crazy. I like the spread here, dude. I'm gonna go with LA 31, Cardinals 10. So, again, the under.
The under. Now, we are on to Sunday. Orchard Park here. The Bills hosting the Jets. Bills 12-3. Jets 4-11. Bills coming in 9.5-point favorites. 46.5 is the total. And at times we've seen, the Jets play the Bills tough. I don't think this is going to be one of those games. Everybody's packed it in, the enigma, all of that. The only thing the Jets have to look forward to is Garrett Wilson, 13 yards away from his third consecutive 1,000-yard season. Will he be in the gang green to have a chance at a fourth one next year? We'll have to see. But yeah, maybe sure I could see the Jets kind of playing good for the first quarter to 2 quarters, but then second half falling apart, probably a couple of Rodgers picks, maybe a fumble. And I think the Bills offense, no problem going up and down the field. Josh Allen looking to win that MVP award. So I'm going to say at the end of the day, the Bills will win this game. Let's say 38-21. So let's go the Bills and the over. What do you got, Matt?
Dude, I think this could be a potentially a big beatdown here, dude. Good spread here. I'm going to go with Buffalo 35, Jets 14. Domination, dude. So is that the over? Can't do math like that.
49.
So, yeah.
Me
that
either.
would be the over as well.
I still don't know over under here.
For some reason, that was always a strong suit of mine. Nothing else in school, but the quick math is what I had.
Wow.
Next up in Nolans, the Caesars Superdome, the Toilet Bowl, Cavs Raiders. Going up against the Saints. The Raiders -1 here. Total set at 37.5. This is interesting. Two of the worst quarterbacks in the league when you're talking about Aiden O'Connell and Spencer Rattler coming off that shutout at the hands of the Green Bay Packers. And this could be a painful win, I think, though, for the Raiders. I think they concentrate on those short throws. Brock Bowers, over 100 catches, over 1,000 yards as a rookie tight end. He has been unbelievable his first year in Las Vegas. So I think they try to get him the ball as much as they can. And this is almost reminiscent of the game we saw last night. Maybe a little more scoring, but I'm definitely going under that 37.5. And I'm going to say the Raiders are going to win this one 13-6. So we're going to go Raiders on the -1 and under the 37.5. What do you got?
Dude, I'm liking it, Barnes. I'm liking it. It's going to be a tightly contested toilet bowl here. Let's go Raiders 21, Saints 17.
Okay, so that would actually be
The
just
over.
on the over there. And that could potentially cost the Raiders a chance at that #1 draft pick. So it'll be interesting to see how that game goes. Speaking of the #1 draft pick, the Giants looking to close that one out, hosting the Colts, and could potentially be looking at the first 0-9 season at home in franchise history. Anthony Richardson questionable. We know they have Flacco. We know Jonathan Taylor ran for about 200 yards last week. So I would expect him to get involved early, often. I don't think it matters. He could play quarterback, and I think they would still beat the Giants. And the Colts hanging on by a thread, do have the tiebreaker over the Bengals. So they need this win potentially to try to sneak in the playoffs. I think they get it done. And I think, the Giants, as always, not able to get much going on offense. I think the Colts are going to win this one. Let's say 21-7. So let's go the Colts covering the 7.5 and the under 40.5. What do you got?
Oh, boy, dude. This is going to be not a good day for the Giants, dude. They're going to blow it again. Probably going to get smoked, dude. Going to go with the Colts 35, Giants 14, dude.
All right. Yeah, definitely not going to be an enticing game. That's for sure. And I don't know if the next one will either. I mean, we obviously have a top playoff seed, one of the top playoff seeds anyway, and the Eagles hosting the Boys. Spread is at 7. We don't know about Hurts, but obviously they have Saquon Barkley. They have A.J. Brown. They have Devontae Smith. They have a good defense. So with or without Hurts, even with Kenny Pickett in the game, I think they have more than enough to get it done here. And I think Dallas is DOA as soon as they get to Philly. So I think Barkley has, let's say, 170 yards on the ground to get him over 2,000 for this season. What a season it's been for his first in Philadelphia. And I think the Cowboys struggle to score. And I think ultimately the Eagles will win this game. Let's say 24-9. So we're going to go Eagles, the -7, under the 39.5. What do you got?
Wow, dude. Yeah, season falls apart for Dallas, dude. They had a disappointing year. Not a lot of happy campers down there in Dallas. Philly looking to bounce back after taking a loss last week. So I think they're definitely gonna hit the spread here, dude. I'm going to go with Philly 27, Dallas 7, dude. So that's the under.
The under. Do we have another under in Tampa Bay here? They are hosting the Panthers, coming off that disappointing loss last week to the Cowboys. They're 7.5-point favorites here. 48.5 is the total. Mike Evans looking to continue that impressive streak of 1,000 yards every season since he entered in 2013. He has 818 So with the quick math, he's going to need 182 yards over these next 2 games to get there, and maybe he gets most of that in this game. I think the Bucs fighting for their playoff lives, knowing they need a win in the worst way, with the Falcons holding the tiebreaker. So I think they step up. I think they get in Bryce Young's face all day, and I think they put a ton of points on the board here. I'm going to say they win this game in an absolute beatdown, 40-7. Bryce Young with 3 interceptions, including a pick 6. So let's go Tampa Bay on the -7.5 and just under the 48.5. What do you think?
Oh, man, dude. Yeah, this could be a tight one, dude. The Panthers been playing a little bit better. I like the spread here, dude. I think it's going to be Tampa Bay 27, Panthers 10, dude.
Okay, so Tampa Bay in the under. Next game up, we got another toilet bowl here between the Titans and the Jags. Doug Peterson seems like he's on his way out in Jacksonville. What are they going to do to salvage Trevor Lawrence's career? The Titans, Will Levis seems like he's on the outs. Are they frustrated with first-year head coach Brian Callahan? What's going to happen here? They're -1 in this game. 39.5 is the total. And it's interesting. I mean, Tony Pollard has had a nice season for Tennessee, just over 1,000 yards and 5 touchdowns. But I do still feel like even with a pedestrian quarterback like Mac Jones, there's still a little more talent on Jacksonville. So just for that reason and that reason only, I think Jacksonville wins an ugly game here. I'm going to say 10-3. So a lot of these low-scoring games, a lot of the unders. So we'll go Jags +1, under 39.5. What do you got?
Dude, I think I'm going to roll with the Jaguars as well, dude. Definitely will take the spread here, dude. Let's go 17-7.
All right, so we're going to go, Jacksonville and the under as we move into an abbreviated 4 o'clock window with the games and all these other days. We got the Dolphins in Cleveland here against the Browns, and I guess they're going to go with DTR starting. I don't know why over Jameis at this point, but me and Michael were talking about before the show. Stefanski, maybe he gets fired. Maybe he's an option for the Jets. Which I think would be a good idea. And, with the Browns here, I don't know what it is, but I just have a feeling they're in the mood to play spoiler, especially because it looks like there might be some rain in the forecast. Maybe not too cold, but it's saying in the 50s. But the Dolphins, I don't know, traveling up north, it doesn't seem like it's a good match for them. Season over as well, most likely at 7-8. So I think the Browns will get the upset. I think they go with Ford on the ground a lot, and they do the short passes to Jerry Jeudy, who has his first 1,000-yard season of his career, 1,072, 4 touchdowns and 72 receptions. I think he has a touchdown or 2. And Tua, who's been struggling with the picks, I think continues that. So upset alert here. And I think the Browns win this game in yet another under. I'm going to say 20-13. So give me the Browns and the under. What do you got?
Wow, dude. Love it. I'm going to go with the upset here too, Barnes. Let's go Cleveland 17, Dolphins 14 on a time expiring field goal to win it, dude. So the under, and Miami does not cover the spread, dude.
There we go. The 425 game, maybe the game of the week
an
here.
All-timer, yeah.
In a great rivalry, the Vikings and the Packers. This one coming from US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Sam Darnold, the revenge season, going up against Jordan Love and the Packers. Josh Jacobs freshly rested, coming off that second half where he was on the bench in the blowout win over the Saints. A little bit of a short week here for the Pack. But they're looking to make sure that they fall no worse than the 6th seed in the NFC. The Vikings with that outside shot, to get the number 1 seed with a Lions loss on Monday night. But I'm going to go with Green Bay here. I just love the way they've been playing. The defense has been generating turnovers. Xavier McKinney's had such a great season coming over from the Giants. I think this is a close game. And I think there is a decent amount of scoring despite some good defense. I think both of these offenses are just humming So I'm going to say we're going to see the Packers win this game. Let's go 31-28. McManus from 56 at the horn. Packers +1 over 48.5. What do you got?
Golly, dude. It's going to be a tight one for sure. Because we're in Minnesota, take the Vikings, dude. 30-27. So hit the over. And Minnesota's not going to. Oh, no. Yes, they do cover the spread.
There we go. And yeah, it's one of those games we can feel like it could go either way. And then the last game of the night, you have the Commanders hosting the Falcons. The battle of two rookie quarterbacks. Michael Penix for the Falcons coming off his first career win. Jaden Daniels, has really lit the league on fire. And this franchise, which was in the doldrums, but him and Dan Quinn and the rest of this Washington team has been fun to watch this year. 10-5, they're 4.5-point favorites. Total set at 47.5. And it is kind of tough because the Falcons looked better with Penix, but it still just seems like this will be a little bit too tough of a task for them, and maybe some rain on Sunday as well. A dome team, rookie quarterback. It seems like it'll be just a little too much here. So I'm going to say the Commanders are going to win this game. Somewhat close, but I think they end up winning ultimately. Let's say 28-17. So let's go the Commanders and the under. And what do you got?
Yeah, it could be a little bit closer than we think because, the Falcons have been playing a little bit better now. No more Kirk Cousins. But, dude, Washington obviously hell of a year here, dude. Kind of nobody expected this. So it's going to be a good game, dude. But I'm going to roll with Washington here. So let's go 21-10. So the under. And they cover the spread too, dude.
And just like that, that is your Week 17 NFL frenzy. We say it every year, but it is kind of crazy. Week 17. Did it not fly by?
No, it did.
Michael,
crazy, bro.
What do you think?
Michael Viavell?
Did it not?
No, it did. Yeah. I have a live comment from Tony.
Let's see it.
Townster. Where are you?
Was he on the phone?
No, that was him telling me his favorite part of the NFL songs.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I honestly thought he was on the line. I don't know about you, but did you kind of think that or no?
It kind of sounded like it, but I kind of knew that was a soundbite. I thought that might have been from like Binge Buddies or something.
Tony saying the bites. I approve the picks, he said. And then Kev Do.
I can take it.
Say, let's go. We want the smoke. Have a great show, guys.
I can take it.
Oh, Kev Do.
He could take what?
Yeah, exactly. I think he's just talking about like the chirps back and forth. But he definitely can't. He definitely gets a little sensitive. But we'll save that for another day. So a couple of things here before we get to our favorite part of the show these days.
I'll see you at the stadium today, brother.
The Prism, so we'll get to that in a sec. But just wanted to run down, we had the 3 bowl games yesterday. Toledo outlasting Pittsburgh, the first 6 overtime game in bowl history, 48-46. So the upset here as Toledo finishes their year 8-5, Pittsburgh 7-6. Toledo quarterback here, Gleason, 336, 2 touchdowns. And the star of the show, Vander Ross the third for Toledo, 12 receptions, 194 yards, and a touchdown. So that game coming from Ford Field. And then we had from Chase Field in Arizona, home of the Diamondbacks, we saw Kansas State come back from 17 down, third quarter, even down 12 with 5 minutes to go. Unfortunately for Rutgers, they lose a tough one here, 44-41. And the star of the show for Kansas State, Edwards, their running back, 18 carries for 196 yards, 2 touchdowns. So Kansas State, getting their 9th win of the season. And Rutgers for the second consecutive year finishes 7-6. But I think they definitely still look like they're going in the right direction, and you could tell that head coach Greg Schiano, the former Bucks coach, and of course, was the Rutgers coach originally before he took that job, has the program headed in the right direction. And it was kind of interesting too. All three of these games yesterday, you had the underdogs covering the number. And you had two winning outright. Rutgers was the only one that covered but didn't win. Arkansas State was 9-point dogs over Bowling Green in Mobile. But we saw them win 38-31. So they moved to 8-5 on the season. Bowling Green goes to 7-6. So a lot of these games, a lot of scoring. Close margins. So I think, obviously these weren't the who's of bowl games, but you saw some excitement, that's for sure. And we have a bunch of bowl games coming up today and tomorrow. So just kind of going over those quickly. And you actually have today 5 bowl games. So Tony will be glued to his couch today watching these. And we have one.
He loves college football.
It's his favorite, he said.
We have one of these. I just love too with that. Though same thing with basketball, but he tries to say that has nothing to do with shoe. It's like, dude, it has everything to do with shoe.
Everything.
Being tight, and he just can't get over it. But like I said, I mean, me and Matthew were able to get over it with Eastern. It doesn't always have to be the alma mater.
His, dude.
Exactly.
No, he's a pioneer, a pio.
I only love Sacred Heart.
But starting at high noon here, we have Oklahoma and Navy. And this is the Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl from Fort Worth. And I'm going to say Navy because I think these naval academies, in these bowl games, the guys are fired up. Sometimes like a school like Oklahoma, SEC, disappointing 6-7 season, they just can't wait to get the season over with. So I think Navy runs for 250, the triple option, giving Oklahoma troubles, who's the -1 favorite. And I think they ultimately will win this one. Let's say 28-14, so that would be just on the under, and then Navy covering the -1. Vanderbilt, Georgia Tech. This is the Birmingham Bowl. And for this one, I'm going to go with Georgia Tech. My cousin Thomas actually went there, and he was disappointed. I think it was either 4, it might even have been actually 8 overtimes, now that I think about it, against Georgia. They lost a heartbreaker there, a game that they felt like they should have won. So I think they get their revenge here against Vanderbilt, easily covering the -3. And I'm going to say they're going to win this game in what is going to end up being a blowout. Let's say 31-10. So we'll go Georgia Tech in the under there. Texas Tech, Arkansas. This one is the Liberty Bowl coming from Memphis. I'm going to go with Texas Tech here. Riding Brooks, the running back, 1,500 yards, 17 touchdowns, and they also have a pretty good quarterback in Morton, 27 touchdowns, 8 picks. So I think they get their 9th victory of the season, and it's Texas Tech. They're always involved in shootouts, it feels like, over the years, going back to the Michael Crabtree days. So let's go Texas Tech. Let's say 41 to 31. So we'll go Texas Tech in the over there. Syracuse, number 21, 18-point favorite. So I'm imagining there's a lot of transfers there coming out of Washington State. Unfortunately for them, playing in the 2-man Pac-12, which will move to 8 teams in a couple years. But you have Kyle McCord, who starred in the upset win over Miami last game of the season, 29 touchdowns, 12 picks. I think they actually do cover this game. I think Washington State struggling to put guys on the field. And I think Syracuse gets their 10th victory of the season, which is an accomplishment for them. They're a team since the Donovan McNabb days have struggled. So I'm going to say they win that game 35-10. So we're going to go Syracuse in the under there. Last game of the night, we have USC and Texas A&M. Lincoln Riley, has been a disappointment in his 3 years at Southern Cal. Their quarterback Moss transferred portal, so he's not going to be in this game. Marks led the way at running back, 1,100 yards, 9 touchdowns. But I think Texas A&M, stronger competition that they played on their schedule this year. 8 wins as well. I think they get the job done. -3 here. I think they ultimately, will win this game. Let's say 28 to 10. So we'll go Texas A&M in the under there. So the 5-pack of bowl games, we're going to see. So that's going to be interesting. And like I said, we know Tony will be glued to his couch. And then I didn't even get to tell you this, Michael, but tomorrow, me and Matthew, Pinstripe Bowl, Yankee Stadium.
That's sick.
Boston College, Nebraska. So a 12 o'clock start.
Wow.
So shout out Corey hooking up with the tickets there. And I was at that bowl game 2 years ago. So it's always cool to just see the setup. And of course, just being at the stadium, Michael. There's nothing like seeing that. And then you have Bill O'Brien coaching BC, going up against Nebraska, who finished 6-6. Boston College finishing at 7-5. And it's just one of those things, muscle memory. I can't be, going for a Boston team. So we'll go with the Cornhuskers in this one. And I think, they'll cover the number. The total of 46.5, I think, goes under. And I think Nebraska wins this game. Let's say 31 to 14. So just on the under, and Nebraska covering. And then the last college football mention here, we're gonna go give UConn a shout out. They're actually facing Bill Belichick's future team. I'm sure he'll be watching this one at Fenway Park. It's kind of interesting games at Fenway Park and Yankee Stadium tomorrow. You have 8-4 UConn, 6-6 North Carolina. UConn, what a season, what a rebuild it's been for former Falcons coach Jim Mora. 8-4 this year. North Carolina 6-6. A lot of hype for next season. But it just seems like this game, with their roster being created for next year, I don't know if they have quite the motivation that UConn has here. So I think UConn will get it done. Maybe a close game, but I'm going to say UConn wins this one 28-24 to get 9 wins for UConn, an independent school, winning at Fenway. So that would be just on the under, and UConn covering the +2.5. A couple other games, but I'll spare it for Tony tomorrow. But we do have BYU Colorado. That'll probably be a good one. Shador and Travis Hunter, their last games of their respective careers. And just kind of curious, I don't know if we've really talked about it too much, Michael. What's your whole thing with Deion, Colorado, Shador? You're kind of over the sideshow or no?
Yeah.
I think he's resurrected the program.
Definitely.
But at the same time, it's okay, we'll watch the games, cool, but we don't need the full social media stuff. I think it just gets a little too crazy. No, I was just mentioning the whole Deion, Shador scenario. Travis Hunter is sick, though. I think he's going to be a really good pro. And I think, too, it's such muscle memories for teams, especially someone like him who might be the number 1 pick in the draft, number 2 pick in the draft, where they just want him to play one side of the ball. But I feel you can have a guy play corner and then have him get 10 to 15 snaps of wide receiver. I don't know why teams are so hesitant to do that, though. And it's you have an athlete. Take advantage of them.
I know. That is.
Yeah, it's sad what's going on with his girlfriend and him.
Yeah, that whole thing is crazy.
Yeah, you don't know?
No.
She's just
I don't know. She's embarrassing him every time they go out in public.
Every time.
Yeah,
she doesn't like him.
Yeah, you were saying that.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
In the city,
he needs to
right, with the
dump
Heisman
her.
thing?
Everything. It's everything. I was dating him for 5 years, was dating a rapper 3 years ago. I don't know.
And something about how he would drive her to parties. He'll stay outside,
wait outside while she's in the parties.
What the hell's wrong with him?
No, I think he's the man. It's her. She's
He's
the
just in love with her, and he's blinded by the love.
And he's just focused on his career, which is good. I hope that he finds success in the league for sure. I think he will. Honestly,
Tony's saying has literally nothing to do with shoe. Let's go Cornhuskers.
Come on.
Come on. So yeah, that's pretty much, I think, everything we're really caught up on, but, I know we've been waiting for this moment, Michael. I hope the music is ready for yet another Prism Pack reveal. I was saying before, I think just in terms of the depth of the pack we had yesterday, one of the best that we've pulled. And I'm expecting nothing but the best today.
Yes.
As we go for pack 2 of 6 here. And it's interesting to all of these. I just wanted to see. So, all these do have Edwards on the cover. Just wanted to make sure. Wasn't sure if there's anything different as we go for the pack rip here. And let's get underway. And this is actually a guy that I believe we talked about yesterday, Michael. From the Philadelphia 76ers, number 21, Joel Embiid.
It's
so
tough
this
with
is
him.
card number 170. But again, almost like with the LeBron card, I
Yes,
think
yep.
value, Michael. Value is there.
Value.
And then this is a card when he's on the Lakers, but now I believe he's back on Dallas. Number 26, Spencer.
Oh, I knew it.
Dinwiddie.
Having a great career there.
Number 96, and he's a guy, he's been all over the place, but he produces offense, so you love to see that. And then from the Miami Heat, number 16, Caleb Martin. Kind of Isaac-ish, right?
Yes.
And then we'll have to look up this one. I would imagine this is a different type of card. Again, a guy we've talked about, almost similar to Embiid, but I think it's more just him with the lack of desire to play. But a green background card doesn't exactly go with the uniforms. Like I said, I think it's special edition. But number 2 from the Clippers, Kawhi Leonard. But doesn't this look kind of sick with the green background?
It does.
So two
We
more
don't have a
cards to
Kawhi.
go here. Let's go with one that I hope you could give me some insight on. Number 13 from the Orlando Magic. Not Dwight, but Jet Howard. Oh, but he's Juwan Howard's son.
Okay.
So number 240 in the pack there. And then we save, I guess what we would say, the best card of the pack. It's an epic performer card. Number 15 from the Denver Nuggets, Nikola Jokic.
There we go. That's how you end it.
It's actually number 15 card. But that seems like a good one. That seems like it could be potentially a more rare one. But definitely a solid pack today.
Yep.
A little more top heavy.
Yeah.
But I have to say I'm happy with the results.
Me too, especially the ending.
Absolutely. So 4 more packs to go, and we'll get into some more packs next week. Back in the day, did you used to get into the trading cards?
I mean, not really, to be honest. Not so much.
Dude,
Had
I
a
would-
few, but like nothing crazy.
I was obsessed with the baseball cards. I had I still have them. I think at my parents' house, like binders and like. I just remember like the whole obsession with like the Mark McGuire Olympic card, and everyone spent all this money on it, and then the steroid thing came out, and the value went from like hundreds and hundreds of dollars to like $5.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just
tough.
like
Tony's searching for it.
What did he say?
He's blinded by that ass.
He's always talking about Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
I mean, a little ridiculous, no? Michael?
I'm scrolling through some stuff right now. This all seems kind of insane.
What are you doing, Travis Hunter?
Yeah.
This is my response to Tony.
Anything like of note there?
No, I mean, I still am trying to figure out like kind of what.
She's basically just embarrassed. She doesn't like him. Like she's been on lives talking about their relationship. He left him. She left him in the DMs for a while. She wasn't attracted to him. And then like obviously taking photos for his when he was accepting the Heisman. He has like a deal with who? Nike or
I
something.
think so. Yeah.
And then she was literally sitting there, and you could hear her say, "What am I supposed to do? Sit here all day?"
Oh no.
While he's taking photos with the fans. Said on live that like he'd take her to parties, like Barnes said, and he'd literally wait in his car for hours for her outside of the party. They said they were dating for 5 years, but she resurfaced in a video with a rapper that she dated 3 years ago.
Wow.
Just like,
Line
real.
loser.
Yeah. He's just blinded by the love.
Yeah. And would you say Tony would be
Nuts.
blinded by his love of the New York Rangers, the President's Cup
It's
last
sad.
season?
It really is sad. Like he's so focused on the past, man. It's time to move on, baby.
I mean, 16 and 17.
Oh.
Who would have thought that? 16, 17, and 1.
They wouldn't be 16 and 17 with one of the two Connors.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Just get both. It's just the whole team.
Wait. Connor McDavid and then Connor.
Bedard.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be
that'd
fucking
great.
sick.
But yeah.
Picks, whatever they need, money, everything.
Exactly.
Tony doesn't get it. He doesn't understand.
But yeah, I just they're going to be in action in Tampa. And I was saying the other day, it's kind of crazy that they always play around the New Year's time, like how you saw them way back when you were in Miami for New Year's, right?
Yeah. That was
It
insane.
seems like they always do their Florida road trip around there, but
Yeah.
they're going to face the Lightning tomorrow, which, I mean, you would think would just be like a complete shellacking. And it's just like, I don't know if I've ever seen a team that went into a season with such high expectations, and then, we're, at this point.
I mean, I've seen it in baseball.
But I'm just
The
saying,
Mets.
like, how we're more than a third of the way into the season, and they refuse to do anything big. And I know, like, certain guys it's hard to trade, but it's like, so you're just going to let everything just crumble in front of you? Like,
Have another players meeting.
And too, like I've been saying all along, like when you have a stretch like this, like it doesn't matter what sport we're talking about, like the GM and the coach don't survive. Like there's no way that they're making it past the season or even maybe through the whole season, honestly, right? Don't you think it's just like when you quit, I mean, that's it. Like there's gonna, especially Dolan, he doesn't have the patience.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
This is a
it's not
game.
really looking good.
And it just seems like there was just again such short-sightedness by the front office and the whole organization, like where you looked like you have a pretty good team, but like if you didn't add more, you don't stand a chance against Florida, and then it's like they don't add anything. It's like,
injured Cub.
like I feel like that's just ridiculous. They're playing like an injured Cub, no?
Yeah, they've been playing more than like an injured Cub. It's completely suck.
Yeah, it's just tough. I mean, obviously, they still could turn it around, but I just don't see how it's turned around, unless they, make a trade. I just think they're going to find themselves too far behind the 8 ball. I mean, it's like a little less than 2 months till the trade deadline. I just don't see, how they're going to make it out of it. So, man, it is tough though, because it seems like, Michael, that I'm just so like downtrodden. But I want that. I want the playoff games, the excitement, going for the President's Trophy, and it's just like we're not even remotely close to that, and that hurts. It hurts a lot.
Yeah, the
honestly.
vibe, the whole thing's off. Dude. It's not there.
I don't know. I mean, because I know, like, obviously you, like, last couple years, it's not like you're watching every game, but you've watched a decent amount of them. But, like, haven't you thought all along, though, that they need, like, that leader, that star? And it's like,
Yeah,
they
I mean,
just
you
don't.
think it'd be Kreider, but
But you know what I mean? Like, he's
It's a
good, but is he
power
really a
play
star?
goal.
You know what I mean? He's the perfect guy as, like, your wingman.
yeah, I see what you mean.
So that's just kind of what I've thought, that they've desperately.
He scores!
Sam Rosen's last year too. They suck.
Oh man, dude.
Dude.
It's crazy. Like, if I had to put a percentage on it, though, like, it really feels like it's just like a 0% chance, unless like they just go all out on some trade. It just seems like they're not gonna make the playoffs. That's what it really feels like, which is crazy. I mean, what were the odds of that going into the year?
0.
Yeah. So it's unfortunate. Crazy. Woohoo. But really, other than that,
That's a good one.
is off till New Year's Day. They'll get back in action against DePaul. But obviously, they've turned it around since the Maui disaster. 6 straight wins, and we'll be in Chicago against DePaul. So that's a game.
Tommy saying we're going to get smoked in Amalie Arena.
And how sad is that for Tommy? I mean,
He's
loves
a diehard
hockey.
watching the freaking
Yeah,
Team
the
USA.
juniors,
Come on.
And it's just like,
I feel bad for him.
I don't know. I swear.
He needs to be the president.
Any sport, I've never seen a team just take it on the chin like this. Like with such high expectations and just refuse to do anything. And I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, hopefully something happens. But like I said, it just, unfortunately, it feels like it's just not expected. But we'll have to see. Yeah, I think that's pretty much where we're at, fellas.
Great show,
But yeah,
boys.
great having you in.
That was dope.
As always.
Yeah, 100%.
And Michael, the run the last 2 days, the prisms, some fire. Actually, last question for you here. Favorite pull out of the 12 the last 2 days? What was it?
Maybe the Nikola.
Yeah,
You know?
that might be a good one.
But I got to see with that the Kawhi.
Yeah, the
I was
green.
just gonna say the Kawhi one's coming.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like it would be somewhat more rare.
I
There
know.
can't be millions of those floating around.
Greasy bastard.
Kawhi, dude, talk about Kawhi being high.
He's done been hay.
Like,
Dude, how about James Harden though? Like this season, he's
Is he good?
Houston Rockets. James Harden.
Wow.
wait, and he's still on the Clippers?
Yeah.
Okay, he's just like carrying the load.
Oh my God, ridiculous.
Jimmy Harden.
You know what's crazy? I was looking at attendance
This is a
figures.
game.
They're like, I think, last in the whole league in attendance.
Who, Clippers?
Yeah.
With their new stadium.
Yeah,
I'll see you at the stadium today, brother.
Dude.
that's kind of nuts.
Yeah,
'Cause
that's
I didn't-
nuts.
You thought like there'd be a lot of excitement, Ballmer, but I
Probably
think it's
costs
just
a lot.
It costs a lot, and yeah, they're 17-13. But I just think like
I'm
you know,
rooting for the run. Dude.
when you don't have a fan base, it doesn't matter. You have your own stadium. Like if you don't have the fan base, you don't have the fan base.
I
think
know.
that's evident, as Tony would say. And then last thing here, Tommy saying Vinny T needs the captain on his sweater.
Vinny T,
but
dude.
yeah, I mean, I'd like it, but also like, can he step up too? Because it's not like he's been playing great. I don't know. It's like the weirdest thing. Like it seemed like somebody like messed around with somebody's wife or something. Like I don't
It's
know.
something
right?
crazy.
One of those, dude.
Do you
yeah.
think
A
though?
injured
Because
cub.
it seems that bad where
I
it's
don't know,
like,
man.
you know what I mean? Like what else would be like
Yeah.
so like controversial? You know?
I can take it.
It could
Um,
be. Maybe it's Kev dude fooling around with
Yeah.
That's a good one, but
That is.
yeah, no. Once again, though, great show, fellas.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt.
and really appreciate everybody who
Very
tuned
good,
in
yeah.
and continues to comment, like, and subscribe. All of the archives in the YouTube page. Tony, Michael, Renee, and Jay in costume merch. DowntownTV.com. Want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the games, enjoy the weekend, and we will see you on Monday.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.